I'm going to read a book called What ZC Saw on Delancey Street. This book takes place quite a while ago in a place called the Lower East Side of Manhattan. That's a part of New York City, and that's where my parents grew up. So that's part of the reason I really like this book. But I also like it because it teaches us about tzedakah, which is charitable giving, giving people who need help. And the main character, her name is ZC, and she is a young girl. Tonight, Mama? Really? I can go with you and Papa? Yes, this very night, on her 7th birthday. ZC was going to her first package party. She stood in front of the mirror and put on her brand new blue dress. She was so excited. Bubby and Zadie had given ZC $1 to celebrate her special day. A whole dollar bill, all for herself. She tucked it into her pocket and dreamed about how she would spend it. How would you spend your money for your birthday? Each family at the package party would bring a wrapped surprise package of homemade food to be sold at an auction. Do you know what an auction is? An auction is when they sell different items, and a lot of people try to buy it, and whoever is willing to pay the most money gets to buy that item. So that's what they're going to do with these packages at the package party tonight. Earlier in the day, ZC helped her mama bake her famous apple cake by sprinkling raisins onto the apple slices. She even helped Mama wrap the package. Inside the package was cornbread and meat and potatoes and lots of yummy treats. ZC sang as she braided her long hair and smiled at her reflection. She was so excited and felt so grown up. ZC and her family walked from Cannon Street to Delancey Street, and ZC skipped the whole way. At Rivington Street, where ZC usually stopped to visit the birds in the chicken yard, she did not even wave. Not tonight. She had somewhere special to go. Delancey Street was windy with a breeze blowing in from the river. After one block, they arrived at the party. ZC charged up the stairs to the rented hall, where the bouncy klezmer music welcomed her. When she went to the top of the stairs, she saw a grand ballroom. All the tables had beautiful tablecloths and balloons and party streamers. People were dancing everywhere, couples swirling to the music. It was like a birthday party for a princess. Can you see? Suddenly, ZC was lifted high in the air by Max Mendelson, Papa's best friend. Not tonight, ZC squealed. I'm 7 years old, Max. She thought she was too old for that. Cousin Sheldon appeared from behind Max. Without even a hello, he grabbed ZC's hand, and he pulled her through the crowd. Look at what we brought. Our package is bigger, said ZC proudly. And do you know what? I might even buy a package today. I have a whole dollar bill. Come now, ZC, called Mama. You're sitting over here with me, Papa, Uncle Yussie, and Aunt Trina. The auction is about to begin. Max Mendelson hopped on stage. Welcome, everyone. We gather once more for a good time and a time to do good. The money we raise tonight will help bring over more of our loved ones, our family from Poland, to this wonderful place called America. So be ready to open your hearts and your wallets and be generous. ZC laughed as Max picked up the first package and pretended it was really heavy. Ooh, that's got to be some kind of cement. Do we have a lot of big spenders in the crowd? Let's start with 50 cents. Will anyone pay 50 cents? Several voices shouted, 50 cents, 50 cents. Do I hear 75 cents? Do I hear $1? ZC placed her hand on her dollar. Someone yelled $1. $1.50, shouted a high bidder. Too much money for ZC. When Max held up a folded shopping bag, Papa bid high, hoping it was Mrs. Hertz's package. With Papa's bid of $2.50, Max shouted, "Sold!" And Papa won Mrs. Hertz's package. Papa had guessed right, and it contained his favorite eggplant salad and chicken wings and lots of other delicious treats for Zeesy. Next, Uncle Yussie's bid bought a parcel that was beautifully wrapped in gift wrap paper that had lilacs on it. Those are pretty purple flowers. Zeesy looked at the package. Uncle Yussie said, "Would you like to open the package?" And she very excitedly unwrapped the paper. "Uncle Yussie, it's a brick!" Uncle Yussie rubbed his chin. "So it is, Zeesy. I can't believe I paid $2 for a brick." The people at the next table laughed out loud. "Why would anyone do such a mean thing?" Zeesy cried out. "It's only a joke," Papa reassured her. "There's plenty of food for everyone here." Everyone from all over the room came over to Uncle Yussie and brought him food from their tables. Soon there was more food than Uncle Yussie and Aunt Trina could possibly eat. Okay, now they're piling up all the food by him. As they ate, Mr. Marcus, the candy store man, came to their table and he tapped Papa on the shoulder. And he said, "It's your turn, Chaim." Papa nodded and stood up. "Where are you going, Papa?" Zeesy asked. "Into that room," he replied. "What's in there?" "I'll only be gone a minute." "Can I go with you?" "No, it's not permitted. I must go alone." Zeesy watched Papa walk to the door. He knocked, waited a moment, then entered, clicking the door shut behind him. Zeesy's eyes never left the door. Why couldn't she go in? What was in there? When Papa came out and returned to the table, he tapped Uncle Yussie's shoulder. It was his turn now. "Tell me what's behind the door, Papa, please, please." "Well, dear, behind that door is a special room, and we call it the money room. Only adults can go in one at a time. And if someone has enough money to give, they leave it. And if someone needs money, they take it, but only as much as they need. No one is supposed to know who has given and who has taken. This is most important to know. It's as much a mitzvah, a good deed, to give when you can and to take what you need. But what's really important is that nobody knows who has given and who has received. Did you give, Papa, or did you take?" Papa laughed. "That, my precious one, is a question never to be asked or answered. Never. A money room? Maybe it was filled with treasure chests and gold and diamonds. Why couldn't she see it? Just one little peek. If only she could see just once. What would happen, she wondered, if she dared to sneak in? Would Mama send her home to bed? Would Papa take away her birthday dollar? Her throat felt dry at the thought. But she was 7 years old now. She was getting pretty old, and she felt like she was ready. Could she? Would she? Did she dare? What do you think? Does she dare? Ooh, that's what she's imagining. What is in this room? A treasure chest full of jewels. Zeesy stood up from her chair. "Oh, I'm going to go visit with Cousin Sheldon," she mumbled. Everyone was laughing at Uncle Yussie, who just came back from the money room to find that even more food was at his table than when he left. Zeesy gulped. She would have to slip by so many people to get over to the door with the brass knob. She plotted her path and planned it carefully as she threaded her way through the crowd. At any moment, she expected to hear someone calling her name back to her seat. Her heart pounded as she arrived at the door. The money room was empty, she knew, because she'd been watching it. Had anyone been watching her? She turned and looked in the room. No one noticed where she had gone. She had the cold knob in her hand. It must be now, now, now. She turned the knob and walked quietly and quickly into the room. You see? Yep, there she is. Uh-oh, there she is. Where were the treasure chests filled with gold, coins, and jewels? Zeesy looked around at the damp, dark room with an unshaded light bulb hanging over a small, rickety table. She saw stacks of old newspapers tied with rope and a broken chair in the corner. On the table was an old metal cash box with slots for coins and a section for bills barely gleamed under the harsh light. Suddenly, tap, 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 Zeesy caught her breath. Someone was at the door. Oh no. Oh no. Zeesy dashed in the dark corner behind the newspapers and the wall as the door opened. Her skin prickled as a man approached the table. Had she been seen? She looked to see and, uh-oh, it was Max Mendelsohn, Papa's friend. Zeesy hid her eyes. Papa had said no one should ever see such things, but it was too late. Max hadn't seen her, though. Zeesy heard Max carefully count out $8 bills from the box and then recount them as he whispered a prayer in Hebrew. Max Mendelsohn. Jolly, funny, beloved Max. It's a mitzvah to take when you need, Papa had said. Zeesy heard Max's need in his prayer, and it brought tears to her eyes. But she dared not breathe until he put the money in his pocket and left. Zeesy knew she was where she should not have been and had seen what she should not have seen. As Zeesy came from out of her hiding place, she took the dollar bill from her pocket, unfolded it, and placed it on top of the other bills. None of this could be told, she knew, remembering Papa's words. No one ever must know. But she wasn't safe, not yet. She still had to make her way back to the table. Zeesy opened the door just a little tiny crack and peeped out into the brightly lit room. No one was looking her way. No one had seen, but the next visitor to the money room would soon be on his or her way. Zeesy pressed her eyes shut and ran out into the party. You see people still dancing? Halfway back to the table, Zeesy was just beginning to feel safe when Aunt Trina's voice rang out sharply. Zeesy, there you are! Where were you? I was looking everywhere for you. In a daze, Zeesy found herself trembling. Aunt Trina tugged her up onto the stage. What was happening? Did everyone know what she had done? Oh, no. Please, no. Don't be nervous, little darling, said Aunt Trina. They're going to love you, I promise. Smiling, Aunt Trina turned to the audience and announced, My Zeesy makes her debut with me tonight as we sing. Oof, they didn't know. No one knew. Zeesy heaved a deep sigh of relief. Whew, and she sang. She sang strongly and sweetly. And at the end, everyone stood asking for more. Encore, encore! Afterward, Max Mendelsohn came to the stage and twirled Zeesy in the air to the cheers of the crowd and carried her back to her family. I see that the birthday girl is not only beautiful, but very brave too. Right, Chaim? He said to Papa. At first, Zeesy was uncomfortable, remembering what she had seen in the money room. I'll never do anything like that again, she thought. But when she saw the amount of food on the table, knishes, a chicken, honey cake, salads, soups, meatballs, all kinds of delicious food, she burst out laughing. Mama offered Zeesy the forgotten treats. Where were you, Zeesy? She asked. Zeesy smiled. I was hunting for treasure. Well, I hope you found it, because I found mine in you. Happy birthday, Zeesy. Her birthday, yes. She thought about the day, the incredible day, as she ate her treats one by one. As for her birthday dollar, she knew it had been perfectly spent, and no one would ever know if she had given or taken. The end. One of the great things about this story that I love is that it talks about a type of mitzvah that is the highest level of mitzvah, where the person who is giving doesn't know who they're giving to, and the person who is receiving the tzedakah, the money in this case, doesn't know who they're getting it from. This way, everybody feels respected and their privacy is kept. So, I just love this book. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Bye.